2023 scores versus 2024 scores of many students. Same students who were getting better scores in the PTE exam before, and in this year they are getting lower scores. The number one compelling reason for this is the constant updates that are happening in the PTE software. Believe me, they are making quite a few changes here and there, which is not only affecting the scores that you get in the exam, but also the overall exam experience and the time management. Everyone, Anurag here from Edutrainex PTE. I hope you all are doing great. These PTE software updates are troubling and baffling a lot of people that are preparing for the exam, and that is the reason I'm making this video to talk about 8 PTE software updates in the exam that are definitely affecting your scores if you don't prepare about them. So make sure you watch the video right till the end and note down the key points. Hit subscribe now and get ready with your pen and paper to note these important changes in the exam, and it will be 100% worthwhile to you. And if you are still confused or not sure how to prepare for the PTE exam, just WhatsApp us directly for a paid online course directly with me, and we'll help you, just like we are helping our existing students to crack the PTE exam and be up to date about the exam knowledge. When you signed up to prepare for the PTE exam by your own or somewhere else, you knew that at the other end there is a software that is evaluating your responses. And every time the software is updated by the Pearson, it affects a little bit on the evaluation criteria and the scoring that you get. So with the recent changes, many people have seen drastic decrease in their PTE scores, especially in the writing and the speaking area. So in this video, we are going to talk about 8 major updates that you need to be aware of if you are going to take the exam soon. Let's start with the first one. The first and the very basic one is related to your speaking section, which is also a cause of concern because previously the noise cancellation that the PT provided in their microphone was 100% proof, and we did not hear about these kind of issues on the social media or from the students. But now people are saying because there are so many noisy people in the room, their scores have been coming down. So what exactly is happening? Even we don't have the data about it, but what we can speculate about this, or what we can think about it, is what is happening is that the other people's voices are also getting into your microphone, and because of that your responses are going low. So how do we fix it? That is the number one thing you need to do. So first of all, I have already made a video on this talking about several techniques that you need to follow, also related to the exam day. So have a discussion with everyone first of all that please don't be yelling in the exam. Be respectable to everyone who is taking the exam. And the second thing, if you still have those kind of people, you need to cover your mouthpiece when you are speaking. So that is the first thing you need to do. And the second thing you need to be careful about, don't wait for the timer to finish. As soon as you finish your responses, you just click on next. So what is happening? The noise cancellations are evident in the exam. So when I am speaking, you won't be able to hear the noise that I am making. But when I am silent, you can hear these kind of sounds. So that's what is also happening in the PT exam. When you are silent after you have finished your response and the others are still yelling, so those kind of noises are getting into your response, and because of that your response is affected, your evaluation is affected. So please follow this advice whenever you are going to the exam. Whenever you finish the response, let's say read aloud 40 seconds, you finish it in 30 seconds. Don't wait for it to go to 40 seconds and submit by itself. Just click on next as soon as possible. The next thing that we want to talk about is again related to your speaking section, because we have seen drastic decrease in the speaking scores, and the number one reason was already discussed before. Now the number two reason is the lengthy repeat sentence. Now you all know how important repeat sentence questions are in the speaking section. You get around 10 to 12. So earlier there was a balance of difficulty of questions. So 5 to 6 questions you were getting simple sentences, 2 to 3 medium type of sentences, and then 2 to 3 you were also getting lengthy sentences. But now the proportion have changed. So what is happening right now? You are getting more lengthy sentences. up to 5 or 6. Some people have got around 6 lengthy or fast sentences. So how do you attack this problem, or how do you tackle this kind of situation? The scoring criteria luckily has not changed. So whatever I have shared with you to be fluent, to not focus too much on the content, is still the main focus here. So fluency 5 points, pronunciation 5 points, and content only 3 points. So this is the marks that you get for content. And that too, if you speak around 70% of whatever you heard. See this text or the example that is given here. You see there are some of the words that are highlighted which you may not speak. There could be many more. But if you speak around 70% of the words, you still get 3 points. Even if you speak half of it, let's say only the first line, just count the number of words, half of it. Even if you speak that much, you still get 2 points for content. So even if it is a lengthy sentence, you still focus on the fluency, how you are delivering, not what you are saying. How you deliver it's more important. So that's how the scoring criteria is. It is still the same, even though the proportion of difficulty of questions have changed. But you can still get a 90 score. Many of my recent students have already done that using this simple technique. Now moving on to the reading section. What is happening in the reading fill in the blanks and reading writing fill in the blanks? So they have also gone a little bit lengthy. So PTE is trying to test more of context there, more of your understanding. That's why they are giving you the lengthy text. But there are still faster ways to solve. And if you have not watched my video on how to solve the reading fill in the blanks in the fastest way possible using proper techniques, okay, shortcuts, tricks, everything, but the basic thing is still the same. We're still talking about grammar, we're still talking about vocabulary, we're still talking about collocation. All these three things are must and very much required to solve these questions effectively. And I have demonstrated that in that video, how quickly you can solve if you are thorough with your grammar techniques. Okay, so if it is a lengthy text and you have to spend more time reading, because some of the questions will require you to understand the context, the meaning of the passage that is being discussed, so that you can select the best word, right? So you still should be able to do that within the time that we recommend to you, around 2 to 2.5 minutes maximum, because you should remember that the number of questions or the amount of questions that you get in the reading section is still the same. So even though you are getting lengthy text, that doesn't mean that the number of questions are decreasing. So you still need to attempt that many questions. So be mindful of the time, whether it's lengthy or not. If you are able to apply these techniques properly, then you can finish it well in time. Same thing is also happening in the reading writing fill in the blanks. See, reading writing fill in the blanks already had at least around half of the questions with lengthy text, because it is more of a context based question and vocabulary based question. So vocabulary is the number one thing and the number one reason for failure in this particular task, because many of the students, they don't understand the meaning of the words or closely related words that are given to you as the options. So you start getting confused. Which word would be the answer? So please still focus on the vocabulary, whether it is lengthy or not. If you are a good reader, the daily activities that I keep suggesting to the students, do more reading, do fast reading, skim reading, okay, read between the lines. All those things are aimed towards improving your reading capabilities. So you can still read a lengthy passage, you can just focus on what you need to read. Okay, you don't need to read the entire content. I have shown that in this video, how to solve reading writing fill in the blanks in 1 minute. And if you watch that video, you will realize that you don't need to read the entire thing. Okay, some of the questions you can straight away solve using collocation. The other questions you can also apply grammar techniques directly, and you can filter out the answers to find the main type of word which is going to fit, and only one type of word fits in any place. So that is for sure. The third one requires definitely more of context knowledge, more of vocabulary knowledge. So still you can do it, even the lengthy ones, you can still solve using the combination of all these three in the given amount of time. We already recommend you to spend around 2 to 2.5 minutes per question. Okay, so don't spend more than that, whether it's lengthy or small. Apply the technique that is discussed in this video and you will still be able to solve, maybe not in 1 minute, but definitely 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes, which is the required amount of time that you need to spend on these questions. So now we have covered what are the changes in the speaking section, what are the changes in the reading section. Let's move on to the tasks that require usage of templates. So essay is the number one thing where everyone uses templates, because templates give you structure and PT is expecting a structure in your responses. But some people are relying too much on the templates, and that's where the problem begins. Earlier, when the PT was not aware how the people are tricking its software, people were able to just write one word in the whole essay template and complete the essay. The essay template already had around 250 words. Many people are still publishing them in their YouTube channels so that you use it without the knowledge that it is actually drastically affecting your scores. Very bad. So these kind of templates have really stopped working in this year. They won't work anymore. If you are just aiming to get a 40 score, 45 score, or maybe even 50, only then you may use, and that is also your risk. I wouldn't recommend that. A little better than this kind of templates are the templates where there are different places where you put some different types of keywords. Okay, so it still doesn't require just one keyword to put everywhere. It requires you to put different keywords in different places. It's still not that effective. You can get a 50 score with this kind of template, but you should still respect and be consistent with the grammar of the template. If you break the grammar or if you make any spelling mistake, then the score keeps dropping. So these are the templates that have completely stopped working, and if you are using any of these templates, then it's time to upgrade yourself. If you keep doing that, you can never expect a good score in writing. Now, what is actually PTE expecting from you? So I made a separate video on the essay writing where I've showed you how exactly it breaks the template and the original words that you have written and then calculates the originality score. So that is a proportion of how much you have written original, and that includes phrases or independent sentences that you have used. So you already know about the concept if you have been watching my videos. Short writing, extended writing. What that means is that your writing should display or exhibit a combination of simple sentences, complex sentences, or compound sentences. Simple sentences you already know. Compound sentences when you combine two phrases using a conjunction like and, but, or. Complex sentences are longer sentences where you have main clause, subordinate clause, or more subordinate clauses. So there could be longer sentences. So your essay has to have a combination of all of these. It doesn't require you to write all the sentences in complex or compound. Couple of them, 1 to 2 complex, 1 to 2 compound, that's more than enough. And when you are using templates, make sure your template already has these kind of sentences so that your focus can be on making the simple sentences. All right. So you can still complete the sentence which is written in complex or compound form as part of the template, but you still need to write phrases. If you are writing your own sentences, write 4 to 5 sentences. If you are using template and then completing the template with your own phrases, still minimum 5 to 6 phrases you have to use, minimum. Because if you calculate the number of words in the template, if it is around 200 words, then definitely you have to write around 70-80 words of your own. If it is 180 words, then again 70-80 words to take the originality score higher. That's what has completely changed in this year. PTE has become a lot stricter. It's trying to check how many things are original in your responses and not just original keywords, phrases, or sentences. That's what you need to show. The next one is also a result of changes in the template. Summarize spoken text and retell lecture. SST is a listening task, retell lecture is a speaking task, but people were able to pass the exam using just one word templates. The speaker was describing this, the speaker was describing this, and some people even bad templates. I can hear this, I can hear this, I can hear that, I can hear that. All those kind of templates. If you ever see it, any of the videos suggesting to use those kind of videos and you can get a guaranteed 79 plus score, 90 plus score, all are fakes. Okay, trust me, you can try it yourself on the official mock test. It's not very costly. It's only 50 Australian dollars. Okay, just buy it and test the theories yourself. I can show you a video of a student from Pakistan who used these kind of strategies, one-liner templates, one-word templates, and then he didn't get the desired score, not even in the PTE exam, not even in the official mock test. Have a look at this video.
Dear PTE students, I am Imran. I am a PTE student. Academy and Vijay experts. They both promote one-liner 12-word strategy in read aloud. I gave Pearson mock test today and used 12-word strategy. But you can check my marks on Pearson mock test and from their portal. Please be careful, one-line strategy doesn't work and neither contribute in reading section.
So from time to time, I have been telling you to avoid these kind of ready-made templates which doesn't even require you to use any keywords or the one-word templates. Earlier, the one-word templates were accepted. Okay, I accept that. They were allowed, they were getting you good marks, but not anymore. So you have to adapt with the situation. Now the exam is changing, so you also need to change your strategy. So now if you want to get a 79 plus score in both these questions, then you have to use 3 to 4 phrases in your responses. And phrases doesn't just mean 1 or 2 words or collocating words or just 2 to 3 words in a phrase. At least it should have around 5 words. The speaker was describing the mechanism of rocket engines, 5 words, or how the rocket engines work in space. These kind of phrases, if you use, then you can definitely, but don't forget about the fluency in the written lecture and in summarized spoken text, grammar, spelling, everything will be marked. Okay, so all those scoring criteria are still the same. The scoring criteria has not the change, but the templates that work for these questions have to be changed. Right. Now moving to the variation in the number of questions that you were getting before versus what you are getting now. So many people, especially, I'll start from the bottom. In the speaking section, many people, everyone basically whoever is giving the exam now, they are getting the 2 new trial questions, respond to situation and group discussion. And the number of questions also varies. Because the time is still limited to 30 minutes roughly for speaking section, and because of these new trial questions, you are getting the other questions less. So maybe you are getting less retell lecture, maybe you are getting less describe image or read aloud repeat sentence. So the number of proportion, it varies according to what the exam has decided to give you on that particular day. But be prepared for this scenario. Ideally, you can skip these trial questions. These are not marked in your score. But if you want to keep your momentum going on, just use the retell lecture template on these trial questions. Even if it is asking you, the group discussion is asking you to speak for 2 minutes, you can speak for 30 seconds and then click next. That's fine. People have got 90 using these techniques. Now, the other sections are also affected. A lot of people or students on the social media, on the YouTube are saying that these kind of questions, MCMA's question or single answer questions or multiple answer questions in the listening section and in the reading section, sometimes I'm getting more number of questions. So what the general thinking is, it's like human thinking, you know, when you get more number of questions, you keep thinking that, okay, it may be more important, still low. So even if you are getting 2 MCSAs, you're still getting only 2 marks from this. 2 select missing word, still getting 2. 2 highlight correct summary, still getting 2 marks. MCMA, you get 2 marks per question because there are multiple answers, but the weightage of the questions is not changing. So you still need to finish those questions quickly. I'm not saying just blindly skip them, because anyway, in the listening section, you still have to listen to the audio. So try it for 30 seconds, come up with the best answer. Don't spend too much time, because you need the time in the end for write from dictation. And as you all know, write from dictation is the most important question of the listening section. It contributes to both your writing and listening scores, so it is a heavyweight module. So don't lose the focus from those modules. And the last one is clicking next button from right from dictation question. If you are in the exam and facing a situation, you are in the last question, you have typed most of your answer and you see the timer is running out, maybe 5 seconds left. Don't wait for the timer to finish, because whatever you have typed is not going to be submitted automatically. So better click on submit before the timer runs out. Otherwise, whatever you have typed for that particular question, whether it's last or second last, that is not going to be recorded and you will lose the marks, whatever marks you could have got, because right from dictation is very, very important. So don't do that mistakes. Right from dictation, you have to click next. Speaking module is self-managed. After the timer finishes, it will stay there. You still need to click next. Writing modules, you have fixed timer. Okay, allocated time. So even if you don't click next, it will record whatever you have written. But right from dictation, not. Okay, now you have got major updates related to the PT exam, all 8 of them. So now you know that the crucial updates that have happened with the PTE software and how you can overcome these problems. While PTE is making changes, these kind of changes, they are also suffering with some technical glitches or problems which many people are facing throughout the world. So make sure you also watch the video on the untold truth about the technical issues of the PTE exam. Don't be scared. If you need proper guidance about everything with the best paid course, then just WhatsApp us. And we'll not only help you crack the exam, but we'll also keep you up to date or updated with whatever is happening with the PTE exam till date. Keep watching Edutrainex, and I will soon be back with more super informational videos on PTE topics. See you soon.